So, what do you foresee for families that are trying to achieve home ownership during this time?
I mean, as a lender, we're very, very busy. Not only busy on the purchase side, but busy on the refinance side of things as well, since interest rates have gone so low. I mean, right now, for an interest rate to be above 2.75 to 3.375 is pretty difficult, meaning most borrowers with their own down payment are getting excellent rates that are less expensive than the cost of inflation, right? So, what better way to purchase a home right now in this marketplace when there's less competition out there because a lot of people are scared and they're at home? As long as your real estate agent like Maria is taking care and making the proper steps in order to show you that home in safe surroundings where there's no exposure or chance of exposure, I think it's a good time for people to at least take a look, kick the tires, take a look at the marketplace out there. We have, since coronavirus has hit, we have went up in listings, by about 3,000 brand
Right.
new listings hit the market from the beginning to now, right?
Right.
And getting people to even get a home was hard, right? If the house was worth a hoot, there was 10 offers on it within the first day, right? So
Exactly.
I think that's subdued. So the individual that's getting beat out, the individual that needs closing costs covered by the seller, the individual that needs to be out because of a lease and they don't want to renew the lease, there's no perfect time than right now. And typically spring and summer is the best time to buy a home in Arizona. By far, the best time historically.
Right. And, I work as a team with my husband. So, what we've been doing in showings is we get there early and we open up all of the house so that our clients don't have to touch anything. Most of our clients are coming with their own gloves and face masks and everything. And we are keeping our distance. But if you don't have those items, we will be glad to provide them to keep you safe while you're out shopping for homes.
Yeah. And again, taking this time that people are home, right? The biggest struggle and delay for a lender is the client doesn't have enough time to get all their paperwork together or to look for that W-2 or, right? So now that people are home and working from home for the most part, um, it's taking advantage of that time and talking to a lender and fully approved. So if this market does open up sooner than later, in regards to the home order, well, at least people are out there still being safe, like you said, but really taking advantage and not starting then, starting now.
Right. So, what are some of the strategies that you are seeing that make families successful in achieving the home ownership? So, should they be reaching out to you now, even if they don't want to shop for another few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that people should be reaching out to their lenders, right? 4 to 6 months before they're even interested in buying, right?
Right.
If the thought is in their head, it's now let's see what that thought looks like on paper, right? Let's see where you're at. Because I can't tell you how many times I get clients that call me and today's say April 16th, right? Uh, and the question being, I need to be out by May 1. Well, with the way that the lending world works, to do that is is impossible, right? So I always tell people, give yourself some time so it's not a stress, so you're not put in a position where you have to renew the lease where you're renting at. And if you do have some credit challenges, then let's help you work through those, because most credit challenges don't take any more than 3 to 6 months to figure out. Um,
Right.
so yeah, I think we're a dedicated group to the consumer, and we want to see them achieve home ownership. So I think starting sooner than later is always the best advice.
I hear my kid in the background. So,
You guys can't see, but my kids are behind me in my window, jumping up and down because they know I'm in a video. So
yeah. So, this this past week, I've seen this article circulating around social media about Chase Bank tightening up their lending criteria. it said that they're only going to do home loans on borrowers with a 700 credit score and above, and only with a 20% down payment. Now, do you see that happening across the board with all lenders, or is Chase just being overly cautious?
Well, first, I'd like to say, woohoo! I'm so glad that Chase made that announcement, right? Because there's not a lot of people in America that can do that. And all that Chase is pretty much saying is we're out of the real estate mortgage world for now, right? That's all. That's the message that they're sending. Because even if you look at Chase's pricing in terms of rates, they're not competitive now, which used to be pretty competitive in our marketplace. So for me as a private mortgage banker, I like to see the big boys leave. But that also shows individuals that your bank on the corner probably isn't always the best bank to go to, especially for your mortgage needs. It's really
Right.
in the private mortgage space that I'm in. So to answer that question, the follow-up question that you had is, I see the industry going that way? I see a lot of lenders getting scared. I see a lot of lenders not having the capacity to manage the business that's out there now. I think that a lot of bank owners have a lot of PTSD from the Great Recession back in 2009. So I think that they've seen this show before, and they think that they know how it's going to play out. And I think it's knee-jerk reactions. I think it's overreactions at this point. But there's overreactions in all marketplaces, right? So there's a lot of investors that have tightened up their standards and tightened up their guidelines. And now it just takes a lender like myself to be able to navigate you through those issues. We haven't really loosened up, right? So we're still doing business as usual. Did our FICO score programs go up a tad? Yeah, they went up a tad. I used to be able to help 580 credit scores. Now I'm about 620s. The 640s is the starting point. Most lenders now are 640 and above. Some lenders at 660 credit scores before they actually open up their products and their programs to the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So at Nova, we've always believed in taking care of the consumer. We service about 80 to 90% of our loans at this point, and we have a lot of flexibility with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA, which is our government entities that insure these loans that all Americans are getting into. With respect to down payment assistance, we know that people are getting rid of down payment assistance, and it's really, really sad to see, because we've always dedicated ourselves at Nova Home Loans to being the leaders of the lower income housing marketplace. We've always been lowest rates, we've always been best service, and always had the best programs. And even though those programs are risky and not a lot of people have an appetite for that risk, Nova Home Loans is going into it knowing that we're going to take some lumps, but at the end of the day, we're here for the consumer. We're here for Arizonians, and for the most part, we've born and raised here for 40 years, and we're not going to turn our back on our clients nor our community. So I would say borrowers, don't worry. Consumers, don't worry. Real estate agents, don't worry about what the other big boys are doing. Not everyone is going to follow. And now is the time to really see that not all lenders are created equal.
Right.
So to answer your question, I haven't felt really any effects of the changes in the market. And if anything, my interest rates are now about a point to a 1.5% better because of the rate cut and because of what the Fed has been doing to kind of pump money into our economy. So as of now, I think it's the best time. What's going to happen at the end of the year with interest rates, who knows? But right now in the 3% interest rates, and that historically is unbelievable.
Right.
So programs, Marielle, I don't have an issue with. Down payment assistance, I don't have an issue with. Lower FICO score borrowers, I don't have an issue with. So I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much for talking with me today about that, because I know that I've been getting calls from clients telling me, is down payment assistance going away? Are you no longer going to be able to do loans? What can we do if we want to buy a house and nobody will lend to us? And I told them that that's not the case. We can find a lender, and I know that Nova Home Loans we'll be happy to serve that need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we're here. We're here. And you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. I've just been filtering. I think yesterday I had 160 phone calls, and about 90 of those were consumers, right? Concern, wanting to navigate through the issues. And, you know, as long as you don't make it an issue, it's not an issue.
Right.
So stay positive, have a good head on your shoulders, let the consumer see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and they're ultimately going to need a house to live in anyways when this is all over. Why not now when we're at historic lows?
Right. Yes. Great advice.
Well, Marielle, why don't you give them their phone number so they can get a hold of you? We'd love to. I can give my phone number as well, and then whoever needs our help, we're more than willing and able to help them at this moment.
Right. So if you need to get a hold of myself, my number is 602-488-9485. You can also visit our website at www.theleonteam.com. And we'd be happy to answer any of your questions or connect you with Adrian at Nova Home Loans as well.
Well, thank you so much for having us, and we miss seeing your face, so it's nice to see you.
Yeah, same.
And hopefully when we get through this all, we'll have a huge, Corona died party or something, right? I mean, take care of yourself and your family.
Lots of hugs and lots of togetherness.
Absolutely. Well,
All
thank
right.
you guys. Thank you. And you guys have a great and safe, blessed day.
You too.